Hi everybody and welcome to the Spain Gibraltar channel. Today I'm going over cheap flights from Minneapolis to Spain and Gibraltar and cheap flights from Dallas to Spain and Gibraltar. So the first part of the video is specifically for one of my friends from Minneapolis to Spain. We will be looking at dates in March to coincide with spring break. And then the second part of the video, I'll also go over some trips from Dallas and see where the prices sit for flights from Dallas to Spain. So first of all, let's jump right in. From Minneapolis to Madrid, I found some really excellent prices and great flights for the end of March. Okay, so we're in March 2023. Wednesday, March 29th to Thursday, April 6th. That is 8 days, so a week and a day. And don't forget to take out one day for travel because when you fly to Spain, you're flying overnight and it's the next day when you land. So this is a really awesome flight. Departs Minneapolis Wednesday, March 29th at 1 o'clock p.m. You have an hour layover in Dallas, which is enough time to get off your plane, walk to your next gate, and start boarding for your flight to Spain. So at 5 o'clock, you leave Dallas, and you're on a 9-hour flight overnight to Madrid. You land in Madrid at 9 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, March 30th, right? So you get to Madrid you leave Wednesday and you get to Madrid Thursday morning. This is an awesome flight. It's about 13-hour duration from Minneapolis to Spain. Anytime you're traveling from Minneapolis to Spain, there are no direct flights, so you have to have a layover somewhere. And this is really an awesome setup right here between leaving Minneapolis and flying directly to Spain from Dallas. It's a really nice flight, and for $600 round trip, it's, to me, a spectacular flight and duration. And then further, coming back from Madrid to Minneapolis, once again, a really good price and a really good duration. So 13 hours for $600 round trip, right? You leave Madrid on Thursday, April 6th at 11 in the morning. And then you've got a flight of 9 hours. And you fly into Charlotte, North Carolina, which is an American Airlines hub. And you have about a 2-hour layover. You hop on your flight at about 4 o'clock to Minneapolis, and you get to Minneapolis at 6 o'clock p.m. So on this flight, you leave Thursday at 11 in the morning from Madrid, and you get back home to Minneapolis that same day at 6 p.m. because you're traveling with the sun back to the US. So that's why you're still in the same day. All in all, if you're thinking about a spring break flight or spring break tickets to Spain from Minneapolis, this is an excellent trip. It's an excellent price. The duration is really good. I've been on flights and durations 18, 20, 22 hours, right? So anything that's around that 12, 13 mark is really awesome. Now, that being said, the only word of caution I have here is thinking about this 1-hour layover in Dallas. So from Minneapolis to Dallas and then Dallas to Madrid, it's only an hour layover. So if any type of delay happens from that Minneapolis flight to get to Dallas, you're pretty close to missing your flight to Madrid. So that's a little tight. That's my only word of caution. I've had it happen before and they rebooked me on a different flight, which sometimes could get longer. So that would be my only thing that we would have to watch out for. However, great ticket prices. I will mention this about this flight. It is basic economy for $600, so you don't get to select your seat. And sometimes even when you book together as a family, sometimes they separate you and don't put you all together. Sometimes, right? So if you did upgrade for $150 per person round trip, right? So it would be $750 $50 round trip, you get to select your seats and you get a free checked bag both ways. So that would be the way I would go. I would upgrade to main cabin at least to get those features. So that's the Minneapolis to Madrid trip. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. Let's go ahead and check out some other trips from Minneapolis to Spain. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm just gonna look at flight prices from now until the fall and the winter and just see kind of how those prices compare to those trips that are scheduled a little bit later out. So right now in July, the cheapest tickets are about $1,700 round trip. And then we get over into August, we've got $1,000 round trip tickets. Into September, we're down to $900 round trip tickets. Into October, we've got some $700 round trip tickets. November, $700 round trip tickets. Into December and January as well. So Minneapolis to Madrid for $700 round trip starting in October, November, December, and January. So those are pretty good flight prices. And let's just look Minneapolis to Malaga, which is the major city closer to me here in the south of Spain. So once again, our cheapest tickets in July are $1,500. Minneapolis to Malaga, Spain. In August, we've got $1,100 as the cheapest ticket. September, we've got $850 round trip, Minneapolis to Malaga. And into October and November, we've got $700 round trip tickets from Minneapolis to Malaga. Now, keep in mind, it's not happening this year, but I've seen it in years past where flights can be dramatically decreased in price 6 weeks out, even sooner than that. So if you have flexibility, you have to keep checking prices because they can change at any time. And then finally, let's just look at Minneapolis to Gibraltar because that's the airport that's right outside of my house that I live right next to. Cheapest tickets from Minneapolis to Gibraltar right now, $2,400 in July, $2,500 in August, $1,500 in September. That's Minneapolis to Gibraltar round trip. Keep in mind that sometimes those flights require an overnight stay in London, but if you want to stay a night in London, it's a great opportunity. Into October, Minneapolis to Gibraltar, we've got $1,100 round trip tickets. And once we hop into November and December, we have round trip tickets from Minneapolis to Gibraltar for $840. So still pretty decent prices during those times. And now let's just check into spring break. So in March, tickets from Minneapolis to Gibraltar, let's just do that March 29th. Let's just do it 1 week. And I found tickets for $9.94. This is a good flight too. Minneapolis to Gibraltar, 15 hours. You've got 2 stops. Minneapolis to Charlotte, Charlotte to Heathrow. Ooh, that's a short layover. And then Heathrow to Gibraltar for $9.94 round trip. I think that's a great price. And on your way back, 18 hours, still not a bad travel time. Your longest layover is 4 hours in Chicago, which is good because when you land from London back into the US, it's a long time to wait to get your suitcases, go through customs, and then recheck your bags. So when you have a longer layover, when you're flying back to the US, it's definitely well worth it. All right, so those are our Minneapolis flights to Spain and to Gibraltar. Let's hop right in and see what we've got going on for Dallas. And since we're on Gibraltar, let's just start Dallas to Gibraltar. So Dallas to Gibraltar throughout July and August, you're looking at $2,500, $2,900 tickets. Now keep in mind, flying to Gibraltar is usually more expensive because it's a smaller airport. However, It's right outside of my house, which is really awesome if you're just like, hey, we just want to like hang out and get there. September, $1,200 round trip tickets. October, Dallas Fort Worth to Gibraltar in October, $800 round trip tickets. November and December, Dallas to Gibraltar, $800 round trip tickets. And let's just hop over into March and look at spring break again. So, spring break week, if you're at the end of March, let's just say Tuesday, March 28th to, let's just say, 1 week, fly to Gibraltar for 1 week. Okay, so this is a great flight from Dallas to Gibraltar, Tuesday, March 28th for $791 round trip. You leave Dallas at 4:40 p.m. You get to London Heathrow at 8 a.m. the next morning. You've got a 3-hour layover, which is plenty of time. And you leave London and you get to Gibraltar at 2:35 p.m. So you leave Tuesday from Dallas and you get to Gibraltar on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. And I like this one because it's only a 15-hour duration, which is a pretty good standard for flying from Dallas to Spain or from Dallas to Gibraltar. Now let's just head over and take a look at Dallas to Madrid, because that's always a fun flight too. So in August, $1,000 round trip tickets. Into September, we're at $900. October, $800 round trip from Dallas to Madrid. Now, a lot of these flights from Dallas to Madrid are nonstop because there is a daily nonstop flight from Dallas to Madrid. And that's either on American Airlines or their partner Iberia Airlines, which is a Spanish airline. December, $800 round trip tickets to Madrid. And then let's just look at spring break again. So we're at $845 round trip from Dallas to Madrid. And let's just pick out, about a week, a little over a week. So yeah, it's a nonstop flight from Dallas to Madrid for $892. That's a great flight. Same thing on the way back with American Airlines, $892, a nonstop flight from Dallas to Madrid. So those are the Dallas to Spain tickets. Those are the Dallas to Madrid tickets. And all in all, they're pretty decent prices. Not the cheapest I've ever seen, but of course we know prices have been going up. So if you're thinking about a trip from Minneapolis to Spain or Gibraltar, we covered that in the first part of the video. And from Dallas to Spain or Gibraltar, we covered that in the second part of the video. If you have any questions or comments or would like me to look up specific dates for you, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. Thank you for joining the Spain Gibraltar channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button and have fun traveling to Spain or Gibraltar, and keep me updated if you have questions. Talk to you soon.